Ladies and gentlemen, Kocosports.com proudly presents Wrestle AM. That's right, it's half wrestling show, half morning show, pretty much all BS. And of course, you got the Coco crew here holding it down live. First, you got yours truly, the sexiest man on all of Internet Wrestling Radio. That's right, straight out of the RVA, talking about Richmond, Virginia. Boom, boom, here, shaking the room. And of course, joining me, turning blue right before our eyes, talking about no gimmicks needed, Dave Coco. What's up, Coco?
Nothing much. I was just trying to hold in a cough. I was like, I can't cough on his opening promo on his welcome back speech. Welcome back. Welcome back. Man. Have you been watching the podcast lately?
Well, it's been hard to keep up with you, Dave. You've done like 37 podcasts since I last spoke with you. It's like no joke, kids, no joke. Like it was like over the weekend. It was like all this stuff is coming out. It's like CM Punk songs where you say, "Hey, do you want to do a show?" Oh, I've already done a show on that. Well, hey, there's a show about I'm already doing it right now, and I'm like, and I look back and on my YouTube feed, and Dave is just cranking out podcasts, cranking out podcasts. I mean, it's only been like a week, but it feels like I haven't done this with him in like 6 months.
Yeah, what you call it? Taz has a new podcast called The Human Podcast Machine, and Jerry says this is a gimmick. But no, someone on Facebook, I apologize for not remembering, said that there's less boom boom, but more coughing. So, coughing has actually been our new co-host. All right, this is Pay-Per-View Profits. Explain how it works, sir.
All right, kids, this is how it works every time. Every time there's a special event coming up, we have a little pick'em contest where we're going to list off the matches, and then you tell us who you think's going to win that match, and the event's going to happen. And then for every correct pick that you get 1 point. Come the end of the event, the person with the most points is the winner and therefore the pay-per-view profit. Now the rules are very simple. We're going to run down the matches here, and you need to put in who you think's going to win. Put it right down here in the comment section. Can you change your picks? Yes, you can. But you have until the event starts. So this is for NXT in the event for TakeOver. Excuse me, NXT TakeOver. You have until that special event starts to get your picks in. Once the event starts, your picks are frozen and you're locked in. Also, we're going to do tiebreaker questions, and it's very important that you put that in because we've had a lot of pay-per-view profits won and lost strictly on these tiebreaker questions. So getting your tiebreakers in, I cannot stress how important that is. So get it in, and some people are like, well, is this only for the Internet infantry? No, this is open to anybody. So just put your picks down here in the comment section. So without further ado, Dave, you ready to run this down here, NXT TakeOver?
Yes, I'm ready. Just one thing I want to say is I did a Ring of Honor pay-per-view preview, and it was like really close, like maybe a couple hours before the pay-per-view started, and I was like, I don't know if we count it as a pay-per-view profits, and I said if there would be 3 people that left their picks, that we'd count it as a pay-per-view profit, and I think we got like up to somewhere near 10 people that gave their picks for Ring of Honor. So the Ring of Honor pay-per-view, does count for pay-per-view profits. I will put the winner on the blog, and I will also mention it on the preview show. All right, let's break down NXT. Booms.
All right.
Let's start this.
NXT TakeOver, NXT TakeOver Revolution. To be honest, Dave, I'm more excited about this event than I am TLC this Sunday.
Yeah, me too. I actually am. I'm not looking forward to TLC that much at all. I'm looking forward to this. It's funny because in wrestling, it's such a weird place because the things that get the most views and the most eyeballs are the shittiest. Like, this week is so exciting. I can't wait to watch Lucha Underground review coming up later. Ring of Honor had a great pay-per-view. NXT has a great show. And the thing that most people watch is bad wrestling. Hopefully, in the future, that will change. But yeah, I'm really excited. I would rather pay full price, $50 for NXT, than pay $9.99 for TLC. That's where I stand on it.
And right now they're actually advertised, at least as far as I can see. Only 4 matches here, but so far it's looking like a pretty stacked card. Now, I'll tell you right now, what they're promoting, for the pre-show, I can go ahead and tell you right now, this is going to be a tiebreaker question, so bear this in mind. Corey Graves is supposed to come make a announcement about his future on the pre-show. Either he is going to hang it up, or he's going to announce his return date. He has had some health problems, suffering, with concussions, and Dave can tell you firsthand that that's nothing to play around with. So he's already working backstage in production, a backstage role. So either, you've got a 50-50 chance. Either Graves is going to say, hey, this is too much for me to overcome. Doctor says I can't do this. Or, hey, good news. Things have turned around. I'll be back in 6 months. So take your pick. Now, Dave, you want to do you want to kind of speculate on that? I mean, what have you heard about Corey Graves?
I haven't heard anything, but I'm just going to I have concussions, hence why I'm not the smoothest talker in the world. And I have concussion problems, and they add up. And I'm hoping that he just retires. I know it sucks because you're losing out on your dream and stuff, but no, concussions are not to mess around with. I mean, you got higher suicide rates, you have higher murder, and I've been dealing with concussions forever. And the thing is, I'm old. There wasn't that much knowledge about concussions. So when I was in the Marine Corps fighting every day, we used to laugh about concussions. I remember, like, ha ha ha, we got 3 concussions today. And we'd laugh about it. Yeah, I'm not laughing like yesterday. I couldn't stand up for half the day. I'm not fucking laughing at. Sometimes when I'm walking with my kids, I call them my little brother and sister because my fucking brain is scrambled eggs. And sometimes Boom Boom's biggest job on Kocosports is remembering people's names. Like, I'll go, the Lucha Dragons, the tag team I was just talking about 5 seconds ago. So I hope I don't want to see anyone's dream come short, but hopefully he gets a good job in the back, can still do something he loves. But I'm just telling you firsthand, with concussions, no, don't even fuck with that shit, bro. Just fucking retire. It does add up, and the NFL is cracking down on it and stuff. And the UFC and a bunch of other people are working on something where, like, different people, concussions affect differently, and they're trying to work on a test to see if you're going to go into a contact sport, if you are more likely to suffer from concussions than someone else. So they're working on tests and stuff. But hopefully one day that stuff will be solved, because a lot of Marines have concussion problems, especially infantry, especially the way we trained. It was crazy, just the lack of knowledge we had about concussions. But it does add up. It does add up, and I don't, like I said, I don't want to see anyone's career and dream come short. No one wants to be that dickhead, but at the same time, you don't want to be here's an example of a concussion problem. We were walking in Yokohama. And I was like, oh, let's go check out down here. And my son, 8 years old, legit got scared. And I was like, why are you scared? He's like, oh, I don't want to go that far away from the station. I'm like, why? And I'm like, Dad, you'll forget where you are. And when you have that situation where your son is actually scared to leave a station or the route that we're going to take because Daddy will forget where he is, it's just not worth it. Even a WWE career, even a WWE championship is not worth that. Now, some people are like, oh, yes, it is. All right, we'll find out. Like, it's so funny because I used to be that young punk kid. But concussions, fuck that shit. Yeah, literally, I couldn't stand up. So I am rooting and hoping for that he finds happiness in another career and he retires. That's just me. And I don't want to see anyone's dream come to an end. That's it. Like, I hate John Cena, and I wouldn't want to see his career come to an end that way. I would rather have him go become a Hollywood superstar or a famous rapper and go away that way than concussions. And in Booms, you could vouch for how much I hate John Cena. We could be talking about anything. We could be talking about anything. Be like, hey, you know that situation in Ferguson? I'm like, I really hate John Cena. And Boom's like, can we focus, Dave? Can we focus on the conversation we're having? Be like, hey, did you see the new Captain America? Yes, it was great, but I really hate John Cena. And Boom's like, you need help, Dave. You need help. And even John Cena, I wouldn't wish this upon. All right. Booms, got a little too serious there for a pay-per-view profit show.
Yeah, it did. To bring it back down a little bit here, the former Kevin Steen, now known as Kevin Owens, will make his NXT debut. Here's going to be another tiebreaker question. Will he debut as a face or a heel? That's kind of what I want to know. Dave, to be honest, with Kevin Owens, I saw his little vignettes that he's been doing that, they do touch on his independent wrestling history. They talked about his associations with Daniel Bryan, with Seth Rollins, with Sami Zayn, with Adrian Neville, and says that he's been doing it for 14 years and everybody else got the call before him and now it's his turn and he doesn't have a plan B. He's going full speed ahead at this. I think that's been very well done by WWE, or excuse me, NXT. I'm not going to associate NXT, even though they are, with a crappy company. Also, Kevin Steen, now, Kevin Owens, and yes, I'm well aware that the Owens is a tribute to Owen Hart, so nobody needs to bring that up. I know I'm going to get like 5,000 fucking comments. Well, he got Owens because he's paying tribute to Owen Hart. I'm well aware of that.
Ain't his son named Owen, too? I thought his son was named Owen, too.
Yeah, no, he named his son after Owen Hart.
Oh, okay, so it's all full circle. The circle of Owen, the circle of life. Go on.
Yes, it all comes all the way around here. To be honest, Dave, and I'm not saying I'm disappointed, but I'm kind of shocked WWE, signed him because I thought, of all the people, they would never sign Kevin Steen because he has more girth than what they like. He's more hardcore. He's not afraid to, that ladder match he had with El Generico and Ring of Honor. I was like, they're probably not going to get him. They're going to water him down. And you know what? It seems like they're keeping a little true to his character here. They just changed it from Steen to Owens, and here he comes. So, Dave, what are you thinking? Do you like what you see so far, and what are you anticipating from him?
I'm really happy. I like I always say this a million times. If NXT is the future, we need to fast forward now. I'm glad he's getting a shot. For the longest time, he was the main reason I still watched Ring of Honor. But as far as your question, should he be a heel or a face? There's no way he should be a heel. Just after that promo, he mentions his son making it, fighting for your family. I think now Americans, and not even worldwide, that's not fair, but worldwide wrestling fans can kind of relate to that. He's just a relatable character. I think, from his promos, and this is a big leap, but I'm going to say it, from his promos alone, I think he's like this generation's Stone Cold Dusty Rhodes. And what I mean by that is it's a guy you can relate to. Where Ric Flair, you really couldn't relate to. You rooted for him, you cheered his character, but there's something about that American hero, and you're like, wow, I can relate to this guy. And from one promo, I got that feeling. Maybe I'm overdoing it, but I don't think he'd come out there and be a heel. But like, oh, it took me forever to get here. They never called me. And I'm doing it for my family, and I'm fighting for my family. And then you come out there and be like, I hate you. Like, just people are not going to react to that. I think hard times, people can get behind Kevin Owens, and I think he could be a face. And plus, the online community really loves him, so it'd be really interesting. Hopefully he could destroy Bull Dempsey. That's what I'm fucking hoping for. It's like Bull Dempsey is the fake Kevin Owens or Kevin Steen. It's still weird calling him Kevin Owens, but hey, it's better than fucking Kenta's name.
Speaking of that, that's going to be the first match we're going to talk about. It's going to be the former Kenta, Hideo Itami, teaming up with the former Prince Devitt, now known as Finn Balor, taking on the Ascension in a tag team match here. This all started actually at the last special event. Hideo Itami debuted. This is after the Ascension had lost the tag team titles to the Lucha Dragons. They came out demanding a rematch, and Tommy just happened to be in the ring, and they beat the crap out of him. He fought him off. This led to a little feud. The Ascension kept getting the best of him, so then he called for help. That wound up coming in the form of Finn Balor, and so he has now come in. And so far, they're the only two people that I know of in recent memory who've actually been able to on screen, physically just take it to the Ascension. I mean, the Ascension have been riding high on top of the tag team division, dominating everybody. But these two, they've got a piece of them, and I've never seen anybody actually hang one-on-one or two-on-two, excuse me, with the Ascension quite like these two have. I'm expecting a pretty good bout here. You know what? I'll go ahead and start it off. I'm going to go with the good guys on this one. I think Hideo Itami and Finn Balor are going to kind of get that official victory of the Ascension. The Ascension, they're looking at. There's rumors that they're sooner rather than later about to debut on the main roster. They tried them out, gave them a little test run in September. Apparently that went well. So I figure, Hideo Itami and Finn Balor have more to gain with a win, and the Ascension has the least to lose with a loss. So my money's going to be on Hideo Itami and Finn Balor.
I live in Japan. I'm a big super fan of Kenta and Prince Devitt. Been watching them for a long time. This is one of those matches where you have to almost become a fan, a /terrorist fan. I think if Kenta and Prince Devitt lose, this whole pay-per-view, no matter what happens, is ruined for me. I just think there's no way. There's no way. And it's funny because Kenta and Prince Devitt, to me, is everything that's right with pro wrestling, and the Ascension is everything WWE wants it to be. So it's like, it's real pro wrestling versus WWE, look at us marketing bullshit. This is almost my lock of... Yeah, I'm going to do it. Lock of the week. Lock of the century of the week. Kenta and Prince Devitt have to win. Because I'm going to be completely honest, it's going to be hard not to turn it off if they lose. I don't give a fuck if there's tomfoolery and fuck finishes. It's going to be hard for me to, like, all right, I'm done. And I know I'm being a little overdramatic, but hey, I'm that type of fan. I apologize.
You're also like a 13-year-old girl.
It's true, but I just think there's no fucking way Kenta and Finn Balor can lose. There's just no... Like, in my head, it doesn't even fucking compute. Like, what do you mean they could lose? Hopefully the Ascension goes up to WWE, because they're more of that style than NXT. And I hope Kenta... And my whole thing is, I said this the last NXT review I did. Watching Kenta and Prince Devitt wrestle in WWE is like watching your favorite athletes in practice. It just seems like they're holding everything back. And I hope at this show they just show the world what they can do. Because if you've never seen Prince Devitt as a face, or even in his Bullet Club stuff, but when he was a face, he was amazing. Have you never seen Kenta and Noah carry that company from almost bankruptcy to the second biggest company in Japan? You don't know how fucking great these athletes really are. You know, everyone's like, oh, all Kenta does is kick. I'm like, no! No, every fucking finisher that you ever fucking loved the last 27 goddamn years, Kenta fucking created. You know, Chris Jericho's like, oh, I invented everything? Fuck you, Kenta really has. Go to sleep, check. Daniel Bryan, check. You know, there was even a joke made by a comedian on Twitter, Angel Castilla, and he said, oh, CM Punk in the UFC, I wonder what Japanese fighter he's going to steal all his shit from. He's referencing fucking Kenta. He's referencing Kenta in that. I just hope that the world could see what I know and how great these two guys could be. And they have to fucking win. And not only do they have to fucking win, they have to show the world. The ones that are like, you know what? I'm not going to watch Japan wrestling. I'm not going to watch the indies. You know, those fans. They have to show those fucking fans how great these two fucking men really are. Because as of now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Kenta and Prince Devitt, you know him as Hideo, whatever the fuck Kenta's name is, and Finn Balor, you know him as those two fucking characters, and you're like, what's the hype? Please, please, fucking show the world what the fucking hype is. Show the fucking world what the hype is. My lock of the week, of the century, I fucked up Carl's joke, is Kenta and Prince Devitt. They have to fucking win. And not only do they have to fucking win, they have to fucking show the world how great they really are. No pressure. No pressure at all. Boom,
Okay.
she dying over there?
No, I'm good. I'm good. It's actually really late here because I have, Dave said, hey, wait 10 minutes. I'll get right on an hour and a half later. Now we're doing the show. Next is another tag team match. This time it will be for the NXT Tag Team Championship. You have the Lucha Dragons defending against the Vaudevillains. Of course, the Lucha Dragons are riding high after winning the tag team title, the tag team tournament, to become the #1 contenders. Pulled off a massive upset by beating the Ascension. Have been wrestling around all comers. Now the Vaudevillains, their first real serious test. Now, some people have kind of called the Vaudevillains lame, and some of the vignettes they've been doing is kind of hokey. But to be honest, Dave, I really love it. The black and white ones, I mean, they're standing by an old-timey phone. It's done like an old black and white serial where they don't even have they don't even have they don't have sound. They just have they say something, they'll have text. They've done one where it's like, oh, those pesky Lucha Dragons. And then they'll but first we train, and they do like a little cheesy training montage. My personal favorite is Simon Gotch in both of them, because in one he wrestled a bear, and the other one he was taming a lion. That was funny. And they always just found some kind of way to get it over on the Lucha Dragons. They were mocking them. They got two little people in Callisto and Sin Cara mask to play the Lucha Dragons, and they beat them up. And they were also in those black and white vignettes. To be honest, I'm thinking it's going to look pretty dumb if you have the Lucha Dragons really lose their first time out. The Vaudevillains are a great tag team. I actually like their gimmick. I think it's something fresh. It's something I haven't seen before, and I think Aiden English and Simon Gotch do a wonderful job in that. But I'm looking at the other side of this. I got to go with the Lucha Dragons. I've got to go with the champions to retain the gold. And then it's just going to be what other tag team are they going to serve up to them next. I think they're also grooming Callisto to be the next Rey Mysterio. I mean, just that Selena del Sol that he does is absolutely amazing. Him and Sin Cara have a lot of chemistry. They look great. So I've got the Lucha Dragons to retain.
All right. I don't know. This one, the only reason my pick is the Lucha Dragons, and the only reason I'm going with the Lucha Dragons is it's too soon to switch titles. You know what I mean? I think it's too soon. But also, there's a part of me that's like, oh, maybe the Vaudevillains win, and then it's Vaudevillains versus Kenta and Prince Devitt. Sorry. And sorry about that. Oh man. But I don't know. I think Prince Devitt and Kenta versus the Lucha Dragons is a lot better on paper. I'm going with the Lucha Dragons, not because a knock on the Vaudevillains. I just think it's too soon for the Lucha Dragons to lose the title. And I think the Vaudevillains are more gimmick. And I actually like the gimmick. I find it to be very enjoyable. I know some people don't. And, you wouldn't expect that from me, because I'm like, two men beating the hell out of each other. That's all you need. But I really do enjoy the Vaudevillains. They bring cheer to my sad, broken heart. So my pick is the Lucha Dragons. All right.
Awesome. Now next, this one is another title match. Now this one, Dave, is interesting, and I think for maybe all the right reasons here. You have the NXT Women's Championship on the line. You have Charlotte defending against her former BFF teammate Sasha Banks. Now, initially, it didn't sound interesting. It was just like, okay, Sasha Banks is, getting served up here. But Charlotte debuted on Monday Night Raw this past Monday in a losing effort against Natalya. And Sasha Banks, she's looking pretty good in the ring in more ways than one. And it's, initially if someone would have said, hey, these two are going to fight, I would have said, Charlotte wins hands down. But I also keep thinking in the back of my mind, what if they're actually going to go ahead and call her up full time, that this Monday was just the first of was actually her debut, and she's going to be full-time, so they just need her to drop the women's title? Or are they going to do pull what they did with Paige, where she was the champion, debuts, gets called up, then has to forfeit the title? So I mean, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot going on here, Dave. I'm gonna let you start off on this one. This is a tough one for me to call here. It's like everything in me says Charlotte, but part of me is going, well, do they really want to go through the hassle of another tournament? They can just have her drop it to Sasha Banks. I mean, Sasha Banks. I mean, I don't think it would hurt the women's championship by having Charlotte drop it to her. Sasha's looking pretty good. She's a pretty good heel. She's got a devastating finishing maneuver. I think she's got a better finishing maneuver than some of the men on that show. So, Dave, what are you thinking about this one? Do you think they're going to go with the story? They're going to stay with the script, or do you think this is a sign of this is Charlotte's swan song and she's going, and Sasha's going to get a shiny gold belt as a result?
This is very tough. I think this is the toughest match to decide. And I don't think it would be that tough of a match to decide if we didn't think Charlotte was going up to WWE. As far as that Raw match goes, I talked about this on my 8-hour Raw fucking show. I think Natalia could beat Charlotte 99 times out of 100. But that one time that Charlotte needed to win was this week. You made the title look weak. You made the event look weak. It was just bad timing. Someone on the Internet Infantry, I apologize, called it, had an idea that Charlotte loses to Sasha Banks, and then on next Monday night she attacks Natty from behind to get revenge, and that would be an awesome way to end it. If Charlotte does lose the title and she's headed up to WWE, I want her to lose it to Sasha Banks. I don't want her to lose it the way Paige did. Like, all right, Paige had to give it up and then head on up, but at the same time, I'm like, no. It just ruins the title, and the title should have value.
I don't think it ruins the title. I mean, this is kind of where I disagree. I think it actually shows that you're a stronger competitor, because it's like nobody could beat me. This title means so much, to me. No one can beat me for it. I've been called up. This is something that beyond my control. I go out on top as a champion, and now here's all these hungry people ready to go in after this title.
I don't think it hurts Charlotte. I think it does hurt the title. Because the next champion is just a paper champion. You have to fucking really prove yourself. You know what I'm saying? I think if you're headed on up, you have to lose the title. But with that said, I'm going to give myself a Lee Corso. Not so fast, my fellow friends. I don't think it's time for Charlotte to head on up. I think they're going to wait to the AJ Lee. Is she leaving? Is she not leaving? Is this just a rumor? Is AJ Lee lying to the internet and giggling behind the stage? I think when the AJ Lee drama starts to drop, she'll head up. I think Charlotte and the Lucha Dragons are going to win because only one title. Spoiler, only one title is changing hands that night, in my opinion. I think Charlotte is going to stick around, and she's eventually going to lose the title, but I don't think she's headed to Raw just yet. I could be completely wrong. Please do not take this as fact. Sometimes when you say stuff, you're like, this is my predictions, my pay-per-view profits, and I don't really win these pay-per-view profits too often. Sometimes when you say stuff on YouTube, they're like, you said that with confidence. How did it not happen just like you said? That's my theory. My pick is Charlotte. But if Sasha Banks does win, Charlotte should be shot right up to Raw at ASAP.
All right. Well, Dave, I was actually going into this, I was leaning towards Charlotte, but after hearing, pretty much how you broke it down, I think I'm going to go towards Sasha Banks now.
All right. Well, I think this is the first time we disagreed, so that's a good thing.
This is so far on this show. This is the first time we've disagreed here. I think what you've said that kind of convinces me is. Charlotte, you want Charlotte to stay down there. She's not quite ready yet, but I'm thinking, well, if that's the case, you don't need to have the belt on her, because if Monday Night Raw says, okay, look, AJ is leaving, we need somebody to fill this spot. Can you have Charlotte ready for us? I think it's better for her to drop the belt now and be available and be ready to go to WWE up to the main roster at a moment's notice, whereas if you had her keep the belt, then she gets called up, then you either have to have her forfeit the title or you have to have some kind of like, quick match on like a NXT and do a quick schoolgirl roll up and get her out, in 1, 2, 3, get out of there. And plus, I don't think it's going to hurt the women's title one bit to have it on Sasha Banks. And since you put it that way, I'm going to go with Sasha.
All right. So
And plus, I think it sets up. Plus, if she's the champion, I think it sets it up nicely for a title defense against Bayley.
Yeah, definitely. And not only that, but I think we could both agree, out of all the matches, maybe the main event, but I think we're all leaning towards the same person. I think out of all the matches, this is the hardest one to predict.
Mm-hmm.
Especially of the ones they advertised.
And then finally, and yes, you're hearing me correctly, finally, this is the fourth and final one. Now, there could be other matches, and we'll get to some tiebreakers on that one in just a moment. But NXT Championship on the line, the man that gravity forgot, Adrian Neville, versus Sami Zayn. And the stipulation is Zayn has said if he loses, he will leave NXT. Doesn't matter if it's in the contract or not. If he can't get it done tomorrow night, live from Full Sail University on the WWE Network for $9.99, he's gonna walk out. Now, Dave, I've been following this. I think this is really shaped up to be a really great feud. At Arrival 2 earlier this year, they had a phenomenal four-way match. Everybody looked great, especially Sami Zayn, who arguably came within an eyelash of winning that NXT Championship. Then he started what I think turned out to be a pretty good storyline, the Road to Redemption. He won some big matches. He beat Tyson Kidd. He beat Titus O'Neil. He beat Tyler Breeze, a man he had never beaten before. They have this match, and he just didn't get it done. Adrian Neville came off the top rope for the red arrow. He missed. He grabbed his knee, and during a moment of confusion, Adrian Neville rolled up Sami Zayn.
For the record, that was done horribly. I just want it to be known. That was done horribly.
Yeah,
maybe on paper it looked like a good idea. But what's that?
I think we did a show. We did criticize that.
Yeah, it looked horrible. Go on. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to make sure that it was clear that was a horrible fucking ending.
But Sami Zayn, sold some disbelief. He did a phenomenal job. Goes back out there on the next week on NXT, asked for another match. Regal grants it. Said that he would leave, and of course Adrian Neville says, "No, I don't want any part of this because I don't want to be a part of you getting, leaving this business." To a big woo. This past week, Sami Zayn finally, said, "You know what? I'm not going to do the right thing because this is what comes back to bite me in the rear end every time," and slapped Adrian Neville right in the face. So the gauntlet's been thrown down, so to speak. I'm actually looking forward to this match. These two have great matches every time they get in the ring. So you know what? You've already tipped your hand. I'll go ahead and tell you my pick. I've got to go with the challenger. I think it's time. I think it makes absolutely no sense to have Sami Zayn get to that mountaintop not once, not twice, but 3 times. And if he gets shot down all 3 times, I think it would be horrible storytelling. Now, if he does, then it's just Monday Night Raw. But this isn't Monday Night Raw. This is NXT. This is where they have decent storylines, good characters, good character development, phenomenal athleticism, good matches, dramatic storytelling. And to me, if you want the happy ending, if you want this to finally be over, I think this is the perfect way to cap it off, and that is have Sami Zayn win the title.
I think Sami Zayn's going to win too, but there are some rumors, so let's just get some of these popular rumors out on there. One, Sami Zayn loses, and Sami Zayn loses the title, and he winds up being unmasked as the Bunny. That would be the worst case scenario, but that's worst case scenario rumor. There's also another rumor: Sami Zayn loses, and he comes back as El Generico, which would be the greatest fucking thing ever. And I doubt it's going to happen, but what makes this rumor seem strong is in WWE 2K14, where you get banned online if you make Chris Benoit. In the NXT, one of the signs is the old El Generico mask. Well, I don't know about old, but El Generico mask. So it would be cool to see him come back as El Generico, but those are just worst case, best case scenario rumors.
You can't make Chris Benoit on 2K15?
No, yeah, 2K15. Sorry, yeah. There's a story. If you make Chris Benoit on 2K15, they ban your online account, and they don't unban it until you delete the Chris Benoit character. Like if you upload his face and all that. So yeah, because they ban you if you like have a penis as a face and all that. They ban you online for this stuff like that. But Chris Benoit is like that. Yeah, you can put in TNA. You can put in TNA characters. You can put in Japan characters, indie characters. You can put in anybody. But if you like upload Chris Benoit's information in face, they ban you from online activity until you delete it. So, and it's 2K15. That's the one that's with John Cena, right? I apologize. Right. I said 2K14. But yeah, in 2K15, you can play as your career in NXT, and there's an El Generico mask on one of the signs that the NXT crowd is holding up, and I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, I think there's a lot of rumors and a lot of ways they could play it, but I just don't think it's worthy of it. I think Sami Zayn has to win the title. I just feel like they have to have a happy ending. And that's why I'm kind of leaning towards Charlotte and the Lucha Dragons, because I think they're not going to have multiple titles switch hands. I think all the champions are going to win except Neville. I think Sami Zayn finally wins. They have a feel-good product. And to go a little behind the scenes, to stop the kayfabe world, I think if you're going to – because you got to remember, he had all these matches, but this was all in one television taping. So a lot of these matches probably happened within 48 hours. When you bust your ass like that, you should be rewarded. Let's learn from Daniel Bryan. WWE has this thing where they're like, oh, if you're not one of the chosen ones, you have to grab these brass rings and prove yourself. And then what happens is those guys eventually break down because why John Cena doesn't have to prove anything except he's a good-looking fucking cocksucker. Daniel Bryan and Sami Zayn and all those guys have to bust their ass killing themselves. And then you're like, oh, we'll just keep... Dude, he deserves the fucking title. This is like behind-the-scenes shit, you know what I'm saying? He just deserves the title. There are a lot of rumors as far as backup storylines, but I just think at the end of the day, they're going to end it. It's the last big event for NXT of the year. End it with people feeling good. I don't know. I think that's just me. I think there's no way Sami Zayn doesn't win. But I do find the rumors, the online rumors, to be a little bit interesting. So my pick is Sami Zayn. Do you want to go to tiebreakers? Because me and you, the only difference between me and you is the women's match. So that's the beat Boom Boom. All I have to worry about is Charlotte winning. And I'm a little scared because that's definitely the hardest one to predict, in my opinion. All right, what's your tiebreakers?
Okay, the first one was Corey Graves. Is he going to hang it up, or is he announcing his comeback?
I'm saying retire, just because don't fuck with concussions, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm going to say retire as well. I think the other one is Kevin Owens debuting. Is he going to be a face, or is he going to be a heel?
Face.
Face. I'm going to say heel.
All right.
Let's see. This is one I was wanting to think about here. Since there's only 4 matches on this card, plus Kevin Owens making his debut, I'm thinking there's going to be a room for at least another match, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Will there be a confrontation between Baron Corbin and Bull Dempsey?
This is just my opinion. I'm going to say no, because I think Owens beats Bull Dempsey. That's what I'm rooting for, that's what I'm hoping for, and that's what I think is going to happen. So for that, I'm going to say no. I think Bull Dempsey's days are over. The real fucking man is here. Now, that's more fandom, me speaking. I speak from the heart, baby. That's why I never win pay-per-view profits. Booms, what's your call? You agree, disagree?
No, I disagree. I think there will be a confrontation because they've been teasing it. I'm thinking there's going to be some. I'm not saying there's necessarily going to be a match, but I'm saying these two are probably going to butt heads. And then finally, I guess you know what? Since we both said that we believe that the Lucha Dragons are gonna win, which Vaudevillain do you believe will get pinned?
Oh, Jesus Christ, I don't even know the names.
Aiden
Um,
English. There's Aiden English and Simon Gotch. Aiden English is the tall one that's bald. Simon Gotch is the shorter one that wears that funky looking singlet and has that like
all right, I
curly
say
butt
so.
thing.
I say Simon Gotch just because. Why not? He's a smaller. Lucha Dragons are smaller. I say Simon Gotch.
Okay, just say Aiden English just to be different. And if
That's a
you're
good
playing at home,
tiebreaker because it's like
yeah. And here's another thing: if you're playing at home and you believe that the Vaudevillains are going to win, well, which one of the Lucha Dragons do you think is going to get pinned to lose it? Will it be Sin Cara or Callista?
all right.
So
So who cost their team the match is the
yeah,
tiebreaker question.
who is going to get pinned in that match or
Or
submitted?
submitted.
We'll even count submissions. Who gets pinned or submitted in that ends the match. So put that in there and put it down.
All right. So there
All
you
right,
go.
man.
There's our tiebreakers. You want to do some comment time before we go?
Yeah, let me look on here. Let me see what we got. We got one from I am Mikey Mike Ashman. He says WWE NXT TakeOver. Our evolution will be surely better than the TLC and Stairs. WWE's flagship brand has no direction for as for WWE NXT has the last hope of a great product from this machine. In my opinion, I think Daniel. And this is a separate comment again by Mike Ashman says. I think Daniel Bryan should retire. I would hate for WWE to destroy his body and life when he can legit retire on a career high, which he had.
That's a
Wow,
really good point.
a lot of good stuff. You know, and here's another thing. Triple H had made some comments about NXT that he was going to try to make it a third brand in the sense of taking it out and touring with it, even using it as like a rest stop. He was talking about doing something where like a rotation where one of the things coming out of the CM Punk podcast they did with Colt Cabana was he constantly talked about how burnt out he was, how he was basically praying to get hurt so he could take time off. They're talking about doing something to where they take guys off the road and maybe bring them into NXT, where then maybe they like come in for a few months, work with some of the younger guys. But when you think about it, it is kind of a break because you're filming 3-4 shows at Full Sail University in one day, and also it's going to help out writers because then they'll know when a start date is, when an end date is, and how to arc a storyline. We hope. And plus it gives the guys a break. It gets them off the road. It gets them, so that way they're refreshed. They're not burnt out. So I'm looking at it this way. If that's true, I mean, that's a couple of encouraging things that we've heard from Triple H.
Yeah, it would be really good. I just hope that his chosen people that don't have to work that hard to begin with are also on that. It'd be kind of interesting to see John Cena take a break. And the reason I say that is because a lot of people are like, oh, John Cena works hard. Fuck you. Go look at a John Cena match compared to a Daniel Bryan match. Go look at a match. It just wears on your body. So I hope not only do they do it for the guys who bust their ass so that they don't break down, they also do it for the guys that are given everything. It would be nice to have an off season of John Cena. It would be nice to see what John Cena would do at the NXT level. But something tells me it's going to be like, oh, let's just get rid of the popular guys who bust their ass so they don't fucking wear down, and the guys who barely do anything, oh, we'll just fucking let them go. And I'm sorry, you might be like, oh, that's a John Cena hater, but a CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan match is way harder on your body than a John Cena versus Randy Orton match. And it's not even player hating, it's just fucking, Tyson Kidd, fact. On Twitter, we have at K1LLAK1N9. Angel says, heard a rumor that my guy Bray Wyatt is injured. I'm pretty sad he's the only one I like on the roster. Coco the Dream is dead. I haven't heard that rumor yet, but I also heard Dean Ambrose was injured. I don't know. There's a lot of different stories I've been hearing about that match. Yeah, I don't know. If you're a huge Bray Wyatt fan, it's got to be difficult. It's got to be difficult. So And SportsFan77, what's his Twitter pod thing? At MarcusNY15. Oh, nice picture of Larry Bird and Kenta on Twitter. Much love there. Favored us and tweeted us, so appreciate that. All right. I think that's it. Anything else you want to cover? Do you want to cover the controversial Franielli thing, or do you want to keep it light and only talk wrestling?
Let's keep it light. I'm not Franielli. I see what you're asking, man. We're not ducking your question. We're just it's just going to be completely out of place. No, it's going to be completely out of place for this podcast. Maybe we could do a Stump the Idiot, but yeah, we will address it. I'm kind of interested in hear what Dave has to say, and I know he's probably kind of dreading what the hell I'm going to say, but no.
As far as that stuff goes, I'm thinking about starting our own channel, me and Booms, where we just talk about something that's not wrestling. Because one of the reasons me and Booms liked pro wrestling so much is that people, even though we take it seriously and it's nerdy, me saying John Cena sucks isn't going to affect your life and you're not going to do it. But if you ask us something controversial, they'll be like, well, I fucking hate you. I mean, you go on Facebook, dude, and people just turn on the hate and the extremists so fast. And I think I would want to do it on a separate channel. I'm actually thinking about doing it because people ask me my opinion on stuff all the way. But when it comes to stuff like this, you can ask Boom Boom. I don't think like anyone else. And the reason I don't like talking about controversial subjects is because let's say you're a Democrat, let's say you're a Republican, you could ask my Republican and Democrat friends, or let's say you're a liberal or conservative. I don't think like you. So at the end of the day, you're just going to be offended by my answer. And, yeah, maybe, and we're not punking out, we'll answer it eventually, but I'm thinking about maybe starting our own channel for maybe like non-wrestling topics. I don't know what we call it. Maybe call it Stump the Idiot, the channel. But, I don't like talking about that stuff on here because A, wrestling's an escape from it, and B, I think so differently than everyone else. It's like, oh, give your opinion on the CIA, Ferguson, New York City. I guarantee if I give you my opinion, every single person that hears it will fucking hate me. Like, especially if you have a set way of thinking. If you're like, I think right, I think left, let me ask Dave. And then left people and right people are like, I hate you both! Ah! So, yeah, it's kind of a pussbag answer, but it's the truth. But yeah, and Rick, 1982, has left his picks. He's the fucking pay-per-view prophet. He's the king, dude. Like, I'm looking, and I'm like, all right, see who he picked? Change my picks to him. Rick, 1982, is the king at picking stuff out. Forsaken says, finally get to join everyone for the show. Boom, boom. You really are pissed off at Forsaken. You're like, damn you, Forsaken. How dare you? Throwing cameras and stuff. Boom, boom. How you doing, buddy? See, you got all mad at Forsaken, and he's asking how you're doing. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well. See, you were like mad. You were like, oh, I'm so mad at Forsaken.
I'm so upset that he fudged all the scores in your favor for the fantasy wrestling game. You know, I'm gonna wind up owing Dave a care package because I was an idiot and didn't add up my own score.
You are such a sore loser. By the way, I'm in first place. Last pick to first place. And sorry to say this, this year's fantasy wrestling team is already filled up. Me and Forsaken and Boom Boom are going to be doing a draft show, and we're thinking of ways to make it more fun and get more active people into the fantasy wrestling. We did not expect this. Like, when me, Forsaken, and even Boom Boom a little bit, but Boom Boom's been busy with his real job, we thought, we're like, oh, we'll cap it off at 16 teams, and like maybe in 2 weeks we'll ask some of our friends to join. We filled up 16-plus teams in less than 24 hours. So we have to find a more fair way of doing it. We got some ideas, but maybe we'll pitch those ideas after we talk to Forsaken, because Forsaken has so much power and pull because he's the one that's doing all the real work. And we will be doing a draft show. We just got to find out when Forsaken and Boom Boom and me can all be together for a podcast. Booms, fantasy wrestling. You get that care package ready?
Yeah, I'm going to send you a John Cena t-shirt, and that's it.
You bet. It's a care package, not a hate package, sir. You are not a good winner. But I'm in first place by 1 point.
This is a picture of
The
myself.
Monday night Raw after TLC it ends. So hopefully it would be nice. I could have a trophy right here, like replace my little Donkey Kong pal, or maybe have Donkey Kong hold the trophy.
Ah, damn it! Sorry, my. Okay, I see what's going on here.
Boom Boom's so angry he's throwing his camera down. Let the hatred sink.
Okay,
But I still might lose. I still might lose.
No, my cord got caught on something, and when I moved my keyboard here, it jerked the cord and it fell down. Okay, I see what was going on.
You're flipping out, dude. I think as soon as we go off air, you're gonna smash your head on the keyboard, flip your table, be like, "Fucking antelopes! They fucked me good."
Yeah, I'll probably change my team name now because I consider that's Jinx now.
Well, the thing is, at fantasy sports, I always get second place. So I think at the last second, I'm going to get second place. I predicted second place at the beginning of the year. It still might happen. But if not, I get myself a nice little trophy. And hopefully, maybe next year, one of you guys could beat me. It feels so unfair that I'm awesome. Anyway, Rick 1982, I hope he didn't get a team, because Rick 1982 wins everything. But no, we got to figure out a way to get more active people in internet inventory and get more teams in. So we will be deciding that and factoring that. But like I said, Forsaken will probably have last choice on that. Anyway, please put down all your winners and your tiebreakers. As of right now, Rick 1982 has no tiebreakers, so oh baby. Maybe we can finally beat Rick 1982. All right, Booms. Booms, you haven't been here in a while. What do you want to say? The stage is yours. Show them why you're the best in the business.
I want to tell everybody, be sure to check us out at Kocosports.com. That's KOCOsports.com. It's your home for all combat sports. That includes boxing, mixed martial arts, pro wrestling, amateur wrestling, sumo wrestling, kickboxing, judo, taekwondo. If you can get your nose broke doing it, we got it covered there. We have plastered all over the site. We've even got a news and gossip section. We've got links to other podcasts. We've got our popular video on demand section. And you know what the best part is, kids? It's all absolutely 100% free. Be sure to check it out. It's available 24 hours a day at Kocosports.com. It's where the world goes to kick ass.
Awesome, awesome. And let's see, we got some last second. We have a lot of different things here. Finally, all right. I look forward, this is from Bullet Club Biggs, I look forward to Kenta and Finn's match against the Ascension. I hope I hadn't been able to catch a lot of NXT since those two debuted. And Travis Moore says, who's won this year's fantasy wrestling? I'm in first place, Travis Moore, but Forsaken is 1 point behind me, but the season doesn't end until this Monday. The season ends this Monday, so the pay-per-view could change stuff up, and also that Monday Night Raw will be the last of the season. The NXT Summer League is over, and Player Dies won that. Player Dies won that, so he will be getting the #1 draft pick. So that's who gets the #1 draft pick. And me and Booms, because we're the host, will get the last draft picks, and everyone else will get mixed in. All right, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, vote on Wrestling Ranted's awards. We also have our own award show. Boom Boom is trying to figure out a new idea how to do that. And also, yeah, I will be doing a Lucha Underground show later. Booms, thank you for joining us. And with that, go to Kocosports.net. And with that, I am over.